It's your boy EJ, the owner of EJM Fit Tips, EJM Wellness, and EJM Rebirth. And today, we initially launched the YouTube profile for this page. I am excited. We are here in Oakville, Connecticut at the Still Beach Gym with my personal trainer, my swole brother, Mr. Corey. What me and Corey are going to be talking about today are the basics that you need to get started with a nutrition plan and a workout plan. So I hope you're ready because he brings experience to this whole thing. Corey has a degree in, exercise science. That's what he has. A degree in exercise science, and he's been a personal trainer for quite some time. So he's gonna be talking to you mainly from a science perspective, and whatever you don't get from him, I'm gonna bust in here with some bro science, all right? So let's get ready to talk to Mr. Corey about the basics to getting started on your fitness plan.
All right, so number one rule that I have when it comes to the basics and foundations that you need before starting a diet or workout regimen is sleep, for sure. First and foremost, we want to focus on is getting about 7 to 8 hours. People say 6 to 8. Everyone's a little bit different, but I definitely notice, let's just say we go with the 6 to 8 rule, that when I get 6 hours versus 8, it's a big difference. Okay, so everyone's a little bit different. Some people can function on 5 hours, which I find that hard to believe, but some people swear by it. But I personally need about 7 to 8 hours, even 7 hours, I can definitely feel the difference. So next thing we have here, and this is in no particular order, I guess 7 to 8 hours is probably a staple. But pitch black room. If you get blackout curtains, that helps a lot. Any type of light can disrupt sleep for sure. Which brings me to my next point is no TV. And if you have a TV and you sleep with it, I kind of understand, I used to do that, but it definitely interrupts while you are sleeping. So the next point we want to bring up is a white noise speaker. This goes hand in hand with the TV as well, because when the TV's on, typically you have the noise on, and that can disrupt your sleep while you're sleeping as well. So the next thing that can disrupt your sleep is caffeine or any type of stimulant. So typically people drink caffeine, which is totally fine, but I would recommend stopping the consumption of caffeine about 8 to 12 hours before bed. So let's say you go to bed at 10 o'clock at night, you would stop anywhere between 10 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Kind of rule of thumb, like I live by that because I think that is most optimal. You know, let's just say it's only 6 hours, probably not a big deal. We'll get to the 90% rule that I have later on. But 8 to 12 hours would probably be best because caffeine has a 6-hour half-life, and in 12 hours it's still in your system, okay? And another point here is 1 to 2 hours fasted. So let's say you go to bed at 10 p.m., I would probably stop eating calories about 2 hours before bed so that your body has time to digest the food and your body is not working on digestion while you're sleeping, which can interrupt sleep, okay? And the last one, no liquids 3 hours before bed. I say this because if you're waking up to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, that will disrupt sleep because you're waking up, disrupting your REM sleep, and having to go and then come back and go to the bathroom or go back to bed. So 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep is what you need, and any of these things can affect that sleep for sure. Okay, so the next point that we're going to touch on is hydration. So hydration is a key aspect to just quality of life and well-being and feeling good, right? You're going to perform better in the gym as well. So what I recommend and what a typical recommendation is drinking half of your body weight in ounces. So if you're 200-pound male or female, you'd be drinking about 100 ounces of water, give or take. Again, 90% rule we'll talk about later, give or take. Split up throughout the day, so if you have 100 ounces to drink, don't try cheating and having just 100 ounces or saving that 100 ounces for, if you forgot about it all day, you drink it right before bed. Split throughout the day, have a constant level of hydration throughout the day. In between meals, and the reason why I say this is huge because it has a lot to do with digestion. Your body has acid in its stomach to break down the food. So when you put in something like water, which is a basic molecule, that will actually interrupt with the acidity in your stomach and disrupt the digestion, prolong the digestion, leave you bloated, right? So my rule of thumb for in between meals is about 30 minutes before your meal, stop drinking water, okay? Because you have nothing in your stomach. And then an hour after your meal, start drinking water because you still have that food in your stomach, okay? And then lastly, salt your foods. So a lot of people, salt gets a bad rap because people think that it leads to high blood pressure and edema, which is swelling. But salt is not necessarily bad. The reason why salt gets a bad rap is because it's in all these processed foods, fast food in high amounts, which yes, will lead to high blood pressure and an imbalance in electrolytes. So you have too much sodium, but not enough potassium and magnesium, it throws off your electrolytes, it causes cramping and things like that. So, all right, so the last key point that I want to touch on is just moderation. You hear this a lot, but it's definitely a good point. Essentially, it's just do less of the bad stuff and do more of the good stuff. That's basically it. So just a couple of things I want to touch on that has a lot to do with health and well-being before starting a diet or workout regimen. Is alcohol, caffeine, and stress. Right? So when it comes to alcohol, again, moderation for everyone is all relative. So alcohol, one drink a night doesn't seem like much to somebody, but it seems like a bender for me, right? So what I would recommend is try cutting it down to once a week, right? If you can get it down to once a week, I think that would be great. Everyone's a little bit different and it might seem like a little far-fetched, but if you can get it down to once a week, I think that's great. I don't think alcohol is that great. I think it's poison for the body. I understand people like to have a good time and some people enjoy it, but all in all, I'm not a big fan of it and I don't drink as it is, and that there's a certain reason for that. Okay, everyone has their own goals, mine are a little far-fetched, so alcohol is not in the equation for me. When it comes to caffeine, I say 1 to 2 cups of coffee, right? Caffeine is good, it's actually a pretty good fat burner and stimulant, and it's safe, but in moderation, right? Because you can't overdo it, right? So 1 to 2 cups, one when you wake up, one midday to get you through the workday. There really is no reason to have coffee at the end of the day unless that's when you're working out. And if that's the case, keep it to a 1 cup's worth. Now when it comes to a pre-workout supplements, typically they're loaded with caffeine. Usually the average is about 300 milligrams. A cup of coffee is 100 milligrams. So think of it as when you're working out at 5 p.m., 6 p.m., you have a full scoop of pre-workout, you're having 3 cups of coffee. It's something that I would stay away from. Try having a 1/3 scoop of that, or try having a caffeine or a cup of coffee with a non-stimulant pre-workout. There's a lot of great non-stimulant pre-workouts out there, okay? And lastly, stress, pick your own battles, right? So when it comes to stress, EJ knows a lot about that.
Fight every battle. Never give up.
EJ knows a lot about stress because I'm in his life right now. But just pick your battles, right? So
big facts. Big facts.
Some people are worried about, who the Bachelor picked on for the week or let go, and they lose their freaking minds and have trouble sleeping because of it. I lose sleep if I don't make enough rice in my rice cooker.
Or the Masked Singer.
So, what I'm saying? Like everyone has, everyone stresses. Stress is an important thing in life. It makes you do something, right? But too much or too little is not good enough. Too little, you're not as proactive. Too much, you're worrying too much, right? So pick your battles when it comes to stress. Again, do less of the bad stuff, do more of the good stuff. When you touch on all these 3 things, this is great 3 things that you need to work on before starting a diet and workout regimen, and obviously translate it into that so that you're feeling good and you're looking good and you're playing good. And that's actually what I have written down here. I kind of mixed it up a little bit, but if you feel good from doing all this, you're more likely going to play good. Because of that, you're more likely going to look good. Okay?
All right. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. We do have a lot more coming for you in the future to educate you and inform you and give you good information that will help you on your fitness journey. So again, I want to say a special thanks to my guy, Mr. Corey, and everybody for watching it. Drop in the comments below if you have any questions or things like that, and we'll definitely get back to you on it. All right, peace, love, and happiness.